kids out there.
Okay, great.
But I'm going to tell you, I didn't even realize this, even in law enforcement. I'm walking and talking to people, walking by people that are...
All right, good morning. If we could get everybody in and in their seats.
Hi, John. I was actually going to say hello, but then you told me to say
Are you guys the ones in charge?
Yeah. Good.
Program on a little bit. Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Great, thank you. Let's go around the room and hear some membership introductions. Let's see who's here today. Good morning, everybody. I'm Ray Sandell, Wayne County Commission of District 3.
Good morning, Robbie Webster, the Edison, and I represent the Industrial Development. Karen Moore, Southwest Florida Business Today, and Chair of the Inclusion and Diversity Committee.
Good morning, Gary Tasman, Cushman and Wakefield, Commercial Property, Southwest Florida, and Chairman of the Business Issues Committee.
Good morning, Ben Spenceley, Health, and Secretary of Horizon Council.
Good morning, Helen Edenfield, Treasurer of Horizon Council.
Good morning, Gita Minaya with Minaya One Global Solutions and Vice Chair of the Horizon Council.
Hello, Laura Carr, City Council, Bonita Springs, District 3.
Good morning, Tom Hayden, Cape Coral City Council, District 3.
Good morning, Debbie Jordan, Lee County School Board.
Good morning, Dr. Christopher Bernier, Superintendent of Schools.
Hello, Gerard Carrington, Florida Gulf Coast University. Go Eagles.
Good morning, Whitney Ryan, Florida Southwestern State College, representing President Dr. Albritton.
Good morning, Matt Acosta, Business Services Coordinator with Lee County School District.
Thank you. Randy Chris Commercial Group, representing the Lee County Port Authority Airport Special Management Committee.
Good morning, Ryan Richards, RG Architects, representing the American Institute of Architects.
Good morning, Molly Scott with Crystal Construction, representing Associated Builders and Contractors.
Jim Zirkles, BGM Consulting, here on behalf of the Cape Coral Council for Progress.
Good morning, Jay Johnson, Bubba's Roadhouse, representing the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association.
Colleen Jorgensen, Hotwire Communications, representing Southwest Florida Tech Partnership.
Dennis Diaz, Edie Button, Casual Strategies Business Coaching, and I'm the chair for the Southwest Florida Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Good morning, Kathy Stefanski with Lake Michigan Credit Union, representing Fort Myers Beach Chamber. Good morning, Kelly Reyes with the Greater Fort Myers Chamber of Commerce.
Good morning, Tom Muir, President of Energy. We turn all your trash into energy every day, representing the Chamber of Southwest Florida.
Good morning, Autumn Watkins Holloway with the Lee County Black History Society and Williams Academy Black History Museum.
Good morning, Angela Fisher with Junior Achievement, Member at Large.
Lee Ford, Member at Large. I wear too many hats to start that.
Mary Gentile, Landquest Property Management, Member at Large.
Good morning, Gary Griffin, B&I Contractors, Member at Large.
Joseph Janashka, Gulf Coast Business Bank, Member at Large.
Good morning, Bev Larson, ERA Lahaina Realty, Member at Large.
Matt Webstorff, Pratt & Whitney, at Large.
Good morning, Richard Darling with Marvin Holmes, representing the Lee Building Industry Association.
Good morning, Julie Ramirez, Executive Director of Lee County Medical Society.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Captain Alan Canfield, Member at Large, representing the Lee County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Carmen Marcino.
Good morning, Eileen Buchanan, SCORE, Southwest Florida.
Good morning, Rob Harris, Executive Director of the Southwest Regional Manufacturers Association.
Good morning, I'm Ron Welledman with Commercial Realty Associates of Southwest Florida, representing the Southwest District of CCIM Institute.
Good morning. Matthew Zwalk with Owen Ames Kimball, Member at Large.
John Wright, Sandcap Bank, Member at Large.
Jen White, Fort Myers Brewing, Member at Large. Denise Vidal with Lee County Electric Cooperative, Member at Large.
Oh, really? Good morning, Bill Johnson Jr., Executive Director of Horizon Foundation.
Dana Burnett, Lee County Economic Development Office.
Good morning, Tatum Walker, Lee County Economic Development Office. Jennifer Rodriguez, EDO.
Evelyn Valdez, Lee County Economic Development Office.
Good morning, Amanda Kent, Lee County Economic Development Office.
And Warren Balcom, Lee County EDO.
Thank you, Warren. Wonderful. Great. Thank you all for coming. This is a great turnout for our committee, so I appreciate it. Speaking of committees, remind your groups that if they have not made their designee of who the representative is for next year, they need to do that. And I know we have a lot of alternates here as well, because the designee couldn't be here, and we really appreciate you being here and participating and carrying the news back. So, Chairman's report. Actually, before the Chairman's report, let's look at those meeting minutes from the last meeting. September 22nd, they should be in your package. Bev, you've got your hand up. It's $5, and you got $7. All right. Second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right, motion carries. Chairman's report. So we have a great presentation today, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time, but I do want to cover two very important things that are going on. First of all, our Industry Appreciation Award that we had on December 27th. Great turnout. I think we had nearly 700 people. It's just phenomenal. Seeing the organizations and businesses that we have, it makes me so proud to be a part of this community. So not only the winners and the finalists, but on down the list, just some unbelievable companies. And unless you really kind of get involved, I didn't even know some of those industries existed. So it's just amazing what's happening here in our own community. So I appreciate everybody's participation in that. And then strategic planning. We spent about 3/4 of a day back on October 13th. We had not done any strategic planning for quite a while. We got the Horizon Council group together and the Horizon Foundation. I forget exactly how many people we had, 20-some people there. And I think everybody that was there would say that it was very enlightening. It went different directions than maybe we had anticipated. I had planned on, I'm a pretty structured person, I had planned on at the end of that day walking out with 3 or 4 things that we were going to go march on and do. It didn't work out that way. We've got a lot more things that we're working on. So upcoming in the next 6 weeks or so, we've got a couple meetings, probably 3 meetings. The first of the year, Dr. Guido Manaya, who is the chair next year, is going to take us in the direction of what we boiled the strategic planning down to. So we're looking forward to that. And I'd like to recognize Dr. Guido Manaya. The amount of time that this man put into this event, putting the surveys together, getting FGCU involved, and the amount of time he's put in at the end is great. So I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, let's move forward with the Horizon Foundation report. I think Holly is out wandering somewhere today, so yes, Mr. Bill Johnson, Jr.
Thanks, Mark. Now, our Horizon Foundation President, Holly Smith, is currently up in D.C. Working on other initiatives. Yeah, that's what you meant. I have to say that because she's my boss for a couple more months. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming out. Just a quick, like Mark said, we have a great program today. Just a quick update of what's going on. The Horizon Foundation is very strong. We are coming off a fantastic year, even with all the challenging issues that we had with the hurricane. We are close to hitting our $500,000 goal, just a few short, little bit away, and we will make that by the end of the year. Mark touched on the IAA. It was a fantastic event that we put on as well, along with the council and the great EDO staff that assisted with that. The foundation right now is in the planning process for next year. We are working on our budgeting, our combined strategic planning that Dr. Minaya has put out there. We are looking forward to putting together some strong initiatives. We're completely rebranding who we are. You'll see a lot of new things from the foundation coming out next year. We've worked very hard to do that, and we are excited for 2024 and what that's going to bring and all the new investment that we're going to bring in here that will allow us to keep doing the mission as the voice of business for Lee County. One of the other things that I wanted to bring up before ending my report was this past Tuesday we did attend the memorial for BPAT O'Rourke. I'm fortunate enough that BPAT was the original guy that did this job, so it's very big shoes to fill, and getting to see him honored and the amount of people that were there and truly the great things that this man did, I know everyone in this room that was there miss him, and I just want to say that I'm very proud that he started the ball rolling in order for us to do what we need to do within the Horizon Foundation. So, I only hope to fill that man's shoes. So, thank you very much, and you all have a wonderful Thanksgiving and Christmas and holiday season. Thank you.
Are you taking the next month off, Bill?
I don't take next month off. I have to work. I'm just saying these nice people.
Commissioner Sandelli, would you like to give us an update?
I would be delighted. Thank you, sir.
I'm going to miss them because I never have to move the mic. This is great. Good morning, everybody.
Shorter than me.
Huh?
A little bit.
First of all, I would like to thank this past year's leadership and everybody associated with making this year a great year. I was at the strategic planning session. It was very interesting, very engaging. It was a nice piece to take the Horizon Council piece and integrate it into what we're doing at the county for a county strategic plan, because the two really come together pretty nicely. So thank you to all and all those people that participated. I shamelessly begged the new chairman of the BOCC, as he did community assignments, to go again one more year with the Horizon Council. And so we'll take that to a vote. Thank you very much. It's passed. But I grew up a Yankee fan. I had to beg a Red Sox guy to give me another opportunity. My mother's rolling over in her grave. Last week was Veterans Day. I'm a veteran. I spoke at a number of different things. I hope that Veterans Day is not just one day a year. Whenever you see somebody with a hand or something, I always say thank you. They give us the opportunity and the freedoms that we have. There's a lot of things going on as we get into the election season and so on and so forth. There are two bills that are being pushed right now by some of the legislature. One bill is to go to an elected county manager. Interesting. We sent, as the county commission, a letter in opposition to that, but it seems to have a life of its own. We'll see where that goes. The second is to move to a single-member district. And I'm not going to use this as a pulpit. I have my own thoughts. And if anybody wants to talk about this after the meeting, I'd be more than happy to give you my thoughts on this. But there is a meeting at 9 o'clock on Thursday, the 30th, at school here, at the nursing school. I would encourage you to look into this, ask questions. These two pieces are really strongly fundamental to what we have as leadership within the county. Speaking of schools, I went to the groundbreaking of a new charter school this past week. I think the doctor was there and stuff like this, and it's this school's going to open near the sheriff's office, so on and so forth, Gladiolus and Winkler, I think. They're going to open with 800 students in this charter school. Think about that. New school, 800 students. It's pretty amazing. Also, Fort Myers Beach, which is in my district, the little school is going to open here soon. They're putting the furniture in. That's been a labor of love between a lot of people, the school district, the county, the community and stuff, who got hurt really bad. So looking forward to that coming back online. We did receive approval of $1.1 billion, if I'm correct, from HUD. It's one of the allocations and stuff. Glenn Saylor from the county has been writing her on all this. There'll be some additional information coming out, but it's funny when you see that stuff happen and then show you the money. So let's get started. Yesterday, there was a function at the stadium, Lee Health, and the Twins have formed a very interesting partnership. Both two high visibility, very important pieces of our economy here. It's going to be good for everybody, and it was very well done, and I was proud to be there. And let's see, let me just mention one more thing about BPAC O'Rourke. We've heard enough about it in some ways, but when we left his service, they gave us all a credit card with the idea of passing that forward. And everybody's taking a little bit different approach there. I was at a groundbreaking yesterday for Habitat for Humanity. And I gave that card to them to put part of their package when they deliver in the school. So trying to keep the spirit of BPAC alive is the best in all of us. So thanks. Have a great holiday and stay healthy.
Thanks, Commissioner Sandelli, and we certainly hope that we get to have fun with you next year as well. John, would you like to give us an update on the Economic Development Office?
Yeah, happy to do so. It's earnings season right now, so even though they're trading limited shares, both Chico's and Hertz are doing strong, performing strongly. Chico, if you remember, both when they were taking out bankruptcy, or one was taking out bankruptcy, the other was just bought by an equity firm. They both paid 75% a premium over closing share costs, and so they're still trading over that today, and so that's a healthy sign for both companies. We hope that Hertz will be making an announcement in the near future with British Petroleum about a new nationwide rollout that's going to be headquartered here in Lee County as well. Alico Corporation came in as expected. They took a loss on citrus, but they sold properties to make up for it. Herc knocked it out of the ballpark. Year to year, over 25% above revenue projections. So they continue to get close to that $1 billion mark. And then the new offering that we're really excited about that we've begun to help with a little bit by providing an analysis is Aon. Aon is a $1.2 billion company headquartered on Treeline. It's loosely affiliated with Florida Cancer Specialists. And they just received a $250 million equity infusion investment to expand. Helen knows them well. But they've hired Goldman Sachs, I think, to look at a public offering in the first quarter. So that's all good for Lee County. All of our publicly traded companies are doing well. And there are others that are publicly traded, but I won't necessarily go to all of them. The bad news is, over the next, and this is going to make Evelyn hyperventilate, we're going to need 200,000 new workers to replace retiring workers and new job growth across every sector. 200,000 new workers over the next 3 years. We say 3 to 5 years in what we're publishing because we don't want to put too much demand on people. But it's a big order to fill. But that said, we forget that we have the largest workforce training provider in Southwest Florida. That's the Lee County school system. Dr. Bernier runs a top-notch organization that is knocking out as many skilled workers as they can. They're committed to expanding. They're expanding to Fort Myers technical college. They're going to expand to Cape Coral, and they're beginning to do the legwork for a new technical college around in Lehigh Acres that we're all, or East Lee County, that we're all very excited about. And we're going to need every one of those jobs. And then he's also joined with Dr. Albritton and the work that Whitney is leading up here at FSW. There's a new Dean of Nursing that's really exciting that is from Minnesota, and we hope to have new clinical opportunities at the VA hospital and some places that we just haven't traditionally had the ability to train nurses at. We hope to have a new, she's not new to FSW, but a new Dean of the Business School with an expanded business school and a retooled design program and construction management program that we've been working closely with our office on. And then there's the work that, Dr. Tamura is doing at FGCU. We were able to give all the institutions $1 million to begin to move into micro-credentialing. And, FGCU was able to take their $1 million and parlay that into this $23 million opportunity from the federal government, and really has become a national leader in micro-credentialing, with universities coming here from all across the country to ask how it's done. And they've, so our 26-year-old university now is a national spokesperson for credential stacking and micro-credentialing. You'll hear much more about that in years to come. And we're going to need all this. And I'll ask you, what do you think the newest large retail center is going to be? It's going to be in Lehigh Acres. And it will probably be the largest retail center from Tampa to Naples, approximately the size of University Town Center in Sarasota, and Lehigh Acres on the Hendry County border. And people don't realize the Kingston projects out there that our friends, the Camaradas, are developing. They're wonderful developers who are able to conserve so much of their property, but they're going to build a 10,000-house community called Kingston with a new spine road that will connect Corkscrew up to 82 in Lehigh around Homestead. And next to that's going to be a world-class equestrian facility that's going to rival Ocala and Wellington, as well as clay pigeon shooting ranges, a PGA golf course, and another 26,000 homes along Corkscrew in addition. So you can see where the growth area is. It's going to be everything from Immokalee up 29 to LaBelle, down 80 to Lehigh Acres, and back down 82 to Immokalee. And that area, which is mostly non-wetlands, and mostly farmland, is still inexpensive and can host 450,000 people residing there over the next 25 years. So you're going to see that as a major growth area in Southwest Florida. And so Lehigh is an exciting place. There's 8,000 homes under construction there as well, not including Timber Creek and some of these other communities that surround Lehigh. And so one of the things that has been a pleasure working with Commissioner Sandelli on, now not only are we moving Alico Road to State Road 82, we have plans to move it all the way through down Sunshine, all the way to State Road 80, so you'll have a major north-south corridor in the eastern side of the county. So if you work at FGCU, you have a straight shot to your Buckingham property without having to go around on the highway and Gunnery and all these other crazy places. So that's all very exciting. We'll keep you informed on that. But Lehigh is going to be the new center of the county. So get ready. And then I want to just talk real quick, touch points on private labeling, because when we first got into the economic development business here, we had to buy Turvis tumblers for the VCB and send out our T-shirts to wherever we could get a good price for. But now today, when my daughter gets married, she's going to have Donna Joe private label beachwear for all her wedding guests, and then she's going to have, and they're all off Alico Road, and then she's going to have Pravada run a short cosmetic line for her bridesmaids, and then we're going to be able to have Coldest provide beach-appropriate coldwear, beachwear, beverage wear for a beach wedding. And then, Jen's going to do a private labeling hard seltzer and beer. Tom Liss is going to do a private label vodka, gin, and bourbon. And Norman Webb and Jolia Chocolates are going to do private labeled chocolates for the reception. So, and we may have a cupcake, wedding cake from, Devil's Donuts or Divine Donuts. Well, she's still on 12, but I'm hoping. And I just want to end with Donna Joe, which is our newest apparel headquarters company here, moved in here from Pittsburgh, great FGCU story, 2 student athletes, and one, the young man was a tennis player, the young lady was a world-class swimmer. They met at FGCU, got married. He's from Brazil. They went to Brazil to visit his family. They ended up buying a sewing company in Brasilia that has 200 employees, have launched a women's outerwear firm that was headquartered in Pittsburgh. The grandparents who invested in the company bought a home in Grandeza. They want to be close to the grandparents. They bought homes in Wild Blue, and they've now opened up their headquarters fulfillment center on Felico. And today they will be having their first sample sale, replacing what was Chico's sample sale. So if anybody wants to get a head start on their Christmas shopping, I'm pretty sure most of my office is going there after this meeting. And so ask Tatum or Evelyn or Amanda or Jennifer, what the details are, and they'll have future sample sales. But they're a terrific company that was already giving back, and we handed out most of the not-for-profits names because they're looking for places to make financial and resource contributions. So Donna and Joe Brands, and we're very excited about them joining our local economy. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. John starts spitting off all these facts and figures. So, when I heard him, the second or third time about different things, I'm like, there's no way this stuff's true, right? So I start writing stuff down, and we either, memorize it. He doesn't make it up. So I have no idea how you keep it all straight. And I think all of that, about his daughter getting married, I think he forgot the end of that. It was really a plea for collections as we leave. Because I don't know who's paying for all that stuff, but I'm sorry? Yes, we'll pass it around. So anyway, John, as always, we certainly appreciate what you do for us, and it's evident in all your reports. So, all right, without further ado, for our nonprofit minute, we have Adam Watkins Holloway, which I'm not sure if this is correct. Adam, 4th generation Fort Myers native, and the executive director of the Black History Society.
Good morning, and I am definitely Autumn and not Adam, but good morning.
I forgot my right contact that I can see.
No problem. I am representing the Lee County Black History Society and Williams Academy Black History Museum. At our museum in Roberto Clemente Park, situated in the CRA's MLK Redevelopment District, we firmly believe that our local history holds the power to make a global impact. Black history is American history, and our artifacts showcase the rich heritage of our community, including my family's legacy at Watkins Grocery, previously located off of the MLK corridor. Growing up just a few blocks away from Roberto Clemente Park, I've personally witnessed the profound impact of our organization. The artifacts at the museum have instilled pride in my children, connecting them to the community's history. MLK serves as a major commercial corridor to downtown Fort Myers. We recently launched a capital campaign, which you can find more information on the back of your program, to build a new African American Cultural Center on the grounds of Roberto Clemente Park. Our ultimate vision for the campaign extends beyond merely constructing a building. We aim to create a vibrant and inclusive hub for African American culture, art, education, and community engagement. This center will serve as a venue for cultural events, workshops, and programs encouraging entrepreneurship and economic empowerment within the community. Whether you visit us in person or explore our website for details, I invite you to join us in elevating, educating, and enriching Southwest Florida. Together, let's spotlight the resilience and commitment of our community to a better tomorrow by celebrating both locally and nationally known Black people and Black history. Thank you so much for this opportunity to present our organization, Lee County Black History Society and Williams Academy Black History Museum.
Thank you, Autumn. All right, our next guest and speaker is going to talk to us about the use of sales tax funds. And before I read his bio, I just have to tell a little story. So I had the pleasure of meeting Mr. Steve Shimp. I think it was the fall of 1989. Is that right? Yes. as I was graduating from the University of Florida with a degree in building construction. And I thought I could get a job pretty much anywhere in Southwest Florida because I had grown up here, thought I knew everybody, recent graduate. So I go sit down to meet with Mr. Shimp, and I was waiting for that call to find out that I was going to be hired. And my friend Theron Moore, my classmate, called me and said, "Hey, I got a job with OAK." I'm like, interesting. So anyway, I've had the opportunity to follow Steve in his career, and just what a wonderful man, company he's built in Southwest Florida, and what he's given back to this community is just unbelievable. And I can tell you, every time that we had to go up against a presentation against the Silver Fox, is what we called him in our office. See, that wasn't too bad. We knew we were probably going to be in that number 2 or 3 range. So anyway, I just want to honor you with what you've done with our community, and to see you still going at it hard is a pleasure. So, Steve started Owens, Ames, and Kimball in 1982 after moving to Fort Myers with his family. He retired in 2007. That's when our career started taking off a little bit better. It was 2007. No offense, Matt. During his full-time career, Steve chaired or was president of a number of our community organizations, mostly focused on public education and business development. He is a past chair of the Horizon Council. In retirement, he enjoys a wide variety of activities, including fishing, hunting, backpacking, skiing, boating, and golf. Both his children, Kevin and Kelly, live in Lee County with Steve's 4 grandchildren. He is the original member of the Independent Sales Surtax Oversight Committee and in his 2nd year of chairmanship. Steve?
Oh, good, Mark. I can move the microphone up a little bit. This is so much fun. We're getting started here with a PowerPoint. I will tell you that, and I can tell you this story because I don't even know where Theron Moore is now. He was a good man, and he's the fellow that we hired in lieu of Mark. But I told many people after Mark got his company going that may have been the biggest mistake I made in the course of my career was that decision, and I can say that, and it's truthful. Autumn, I have a story for you and I decided to tell it because I think it's important that we all understand how our community knits together. Do you know the story of how the building that now houses the museum got to its site? I'll tell it to everybody in the room. The district was building a new middle school in about 1991, and we were the low bidder on that project as a company, and as part of that project, that building was slated to be demolished. And so we had money in our bid to demolish the building, and the district called us and said, we really don't think we hate demolishing that thing. The state is basically dictating the use of funds, has to get it out of the way. We can't use district funds to move it. Can you work on that? We went to the moving and storage company, whose now their name fails me, that on the north side of MLK. Flint and Doyle, and we called up Flint and Doyle and we said, look, we've got so much money in our budget to push that building over, we'll give it to you if you'll relocate it. And they did that, and I'm sure they lost money on that deal big time because obviously it's easier to move a building out of the way than it is to relocate it. But that's how it happened, and those things knit together a lot. Talk to you a little bit and switch to the subject at hand about the sales tax. I'm chair of we have an independent sales surtax oversight committee. I will call it ISSOC because I can't pronounce that mouthful without reading it. I'm here today to tell you a little bit about what the sales tax is, a bit about its origin, some about its uses, what our committee is and what we do, and to talk quite a bit about the age and condition of the facilities in the district, how those dollars are used and focused on bettering our school district. And obviously the motivation behind that is to get our community to understand how important this is to being an ongoing asset in our community to build better education. Our committee is comprised of and consider myself one of the ones that's least qualified. Our committee's chosen from the business community and the broader community to support all sides of our community. We have construction people, we have finance people in our community, we have actually some ex-employees from the district that worked in a financial capacity. We have safety and security people, and our job is to overview the expenditures of the district to make sure that they comply with the referendum that the voters passed when they put it in place. Racially and ethnically, we're across the boards also with our Hispanic, our black community, and minorities are represented on our board, but not because of the color of their skin, but more because they come to that table as very qualified, and every person that sits at that table has something to contribute. It's interesting to find some of the questions that are asked. There are 15 members, there are 2 alternates. We have to be residents of Lee County. We are volunteers. We're not compensated. I appreciate the free coffee this morning as I showed up, and I did eat 3 donuts. We can't be district employees, a current district employee, but as I mentioned, some of us have worked in the district before, mostly in the financial area, and that's very important because our job is to oversee money. And you can imagine in an organization with a budget the size of the district to know where the shelves are moved on the table. It's very important, and we have that kind of talent at our table. We are approved by the school board to serve. We serve some of us 2-year terms and 4-year terms. As we started up, a number of us were 2-year terms. And our alternates do not have voting rights. What's the half-penny sales tax? Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. It's a half-penny sales tax. We call it small change for big change. I don't notice it when I pay my bills at the store, and I would suspect many of us don't pay any attention to it at all, but it has a huge impact. I need to back that slide up. I'll just have to speak to it. The half-penny sales tax in the referendum that was passed now 5 years ago is to be used for new construction and major renovation projects, technology, maintenance, and the area of safety and security within the district. That's what the voters approved. And our primary job as the ISSOC is to make sure that projects that are funded through that sales tax mechanism fall within the perusal of those 4 areas. And we readily get reports from the district to that. Why was it needed, and what was the case that was made to take this referendum forward? Increased number of students is pretty obvious. We're a growth county. I mean, the numbers in terms of our growth was at 450,000 new people. Obviously, they're not going to all be retirees. There are going to be young people involved. The district has experienced over the years a decrease in capital funding from both the state and from impact fees. The state moved a significant source of funds from the district facilities into the charter school movement to pay for capital facilities for the charter schools, and the county had to reduce impact fees as a stimulus, and you may all recall that as a Horizon Council, and I believe that happened in about 2007. Am I right, Mark? In that downturn is when the county stepped back on the rate of impact fees and approved less money. The third ingredient that is dialing in a big way is the age of our facilities, and I'll share some information with you later about that. Who benefits? Big question. We have 100,000 students in the district. We are the 8th largest district in the state. We're the 32nd largest district in the country, and we're still growing. We've added 19,000 students since 2008, and that growth curve continues to project to be larger and larger. In addition to that, when you look at who benefits, we have about 5,800 adult students that are being educated within the district. They're in the GED program, the English for Speakers of Other Languages program, a significant program within our district, general and community education. We have 2 vocational schools, and As you heard in one of the reports this morning, a third one is on the way out in the Lehigh area, and the Cape is planned to be expanded considerably. And we have a public service academy that serves our firefighters, our EMS, our police forces, our sheriff's department, and various other emergency employees in the county. In addition to that, our 11,000 employees benefit from the sales tax at working in a better environment. If you are one of the people running a business, you know that if you have a physical plant that is best suited to getting the job done in your business, that your employees will be more productive. Same way in the school district, no question about it. We have 5,400 plus educators, frontline educators working in the schools. There are about 200 school-based leaders, principals, assistant principals, 4,500 non-instructional employees. And their productivity is higher because they're working in facilities that make more sense, and when they look around them, they see them to be well-maintained. And 200 people working at district headquarters. We had some, and this is mere conjecture, but it's conceivably a very accurate statistic. You take a look at the Shimp family. Both my son and my daughter live here in town with their families. There's a total of 10 of us in the direct family. I have 4 grandchildren. All of them are in the Lee County Public Schools. Our percentage in our family is 40% of our family is directly touched by the district. We estimate that 1 in 3 people, albeit employees and their families, students and their families, people are directly linked to the financial benefit and the condition of the facilities that they work in, and their children and their grandchildren go and enjoy. Where do we offer services? There are 80 campuses in the preschool through 12 system. There are actually 82 now because we just opened 2 more. There's one virtual school, and we'll talk a little bit about that because recognize that there are 4 areas for financial expenditure, and one of them is technology. And our virtual school system literally could not exist without the technology. We have the 2 technical colleges, one to be significantly improved and a third one on the way. The Public Service Academy I mentioned to you. We have 9 specialty centers within the district dealing with kids that have special needs in their education. We have 10 support facilities scattered throughout the district for transportation, maintenance, and administration. In terms of the age and condition of schools, 8 of our schools currently fall within being 40 to 49 years old, 7 are 50 to 59, and 21 are more than 60 years old. Now, I would share with you that those statistics on their face can be a bit deceiving because considerable funds have been put into renovating and bringing existing structures up to standard so that our students are not in truly 60-year-old buildings there and 60-year-old structures. Many of them have been hardened and made more safe due to our environment and that sort of thing, but they're old, and we deal with old buildings. A lot of people do not understand, and it's important for us to clarify how ISSOC dials into the projects that move forward in the district as a result of the sales tax. And this chart goes through a little bit about how projects are selected. There's a capital needs committee within the administration of the district that on an annual basis develops a 10-year capital plan for how money will be spent. It's a plan ahead effort. There's also a financial committee that works within in terms of the resources that can be plugged in. We're not the only one with the half-cent sales tax. That capital plan moves forward within the district, and then is one of the committees that oversights it that's made up of citizens is, for example, the Construction Advisory Committee. There's also a committee that works from the financial community and helps the district. And there also are workshops that come up as major capital plans are moved forward to give input and tailor to the administration. They move that to the board, and the board approves the capital plan each year. We've had a couple times during the last four years that we've been meeting, 4.5 years we've been meeting, where citizens will come forward and say, I want you all to be aware of a need at the ISSOC. And we refer them then to the district facilities people, because that really is the touch point where advocacy can move forward for a given project. We do not approve the projects. We review and assure the public that, in fact, the funds that they voted for are being used toward the 4 areas. How much have we collected and spent? A lot of money. Through June of this year, we've taken in over $440 million in sales tax. We've spent short of $300 million, and you may ask the question, how does that work? Well, there are time lags in terms of those funds going out the door as they're committed, and they are not committed until they're in hand. It's interesting to me, and I'm an original member of the committee, how the projections that were rolled forward when we first got started as to the revenue from the sales tax have been quite accurate, and they've been developed internally with state data, but they're basically a product of the current Lee County Schools Administration. They've worked really well in terms of as a planning tool to tell us how much do we have to spend. And about 20% of that money we contract to tourism and people that don't live here, non-residents, paying additional sales tax as they come down and they hit our dining facilities and our lodging, that sort of thing. The impact directly, I always have trouble pronouncing Amanassar, and I hope I did that right. Elementary opened this school year, brand new school, students seated in it. Gateway High opened in 2021. The elementary school, incidentally, was fully funded from the sales tax. Lehigh Acres Middle in 2021, another sales tax project. Overall, we've seated 4,500 students with sales tax money in new seats. In addition to that, the existence of older facilities, either being replaced or renovated. The Franklin Park Elementary School construction now is underway. That's the removal of the prior school and a complete new elementary school going into our community with sales tax money. I still call him Lem Tool because I didn't know him as Lem Yule. Lem Tool Elementary, the renovation in 2023. And Lehigh Senior High School, to give you an idea of impact, that was an expansion of the cafeteria. It added 700 new seats, and it dramatically expanded the ROTC facility there for the largest ROTC program within the district. Significant change. Cypress Lake Middle School is on tap and in the planning stages of a major renovation, very much needed. Riverdale High School renovation is slated to happen in 2023 through 25, so the dollars are continuing to flow and the projects are flowing with them. In terms of the safety and security area, a number of things, and within that bucket falls anywhere from perimeter fencing for our districts to new cameras and new monitoring technology. You may have seen articles in the newspaper about the new weapons detection system that has been brought in, and that basically is a facility where you walk through 2 posts. If you're a student, you like the idea of taking out anything like an iPad or your technology, you put that aside, you walk through, and if you're carrying a weapon, it will detect it. It's not a metal detector, it's a weapon detector. Before that was rolled into the district, it was tried at a couple of our high schools on a trial basis to see the reaction of the students. They liked it. They wanted that in their school. Hardening of the schools is anywhere from impact-resistant glass to various covers, and I can't share with the public a lot of the steps that are in place because a lot of the security measures you don't necessarily see. We get to be, actually the chair is briefed on some of those security measures put in place because they should be confidential to the public. Lee, did I say something wrong that you're leaving the room? I mean, you're breaking my heart. I've known Lee Ford for a long time. I've got to give him a hard time. The communication system that law enforcement has when they go into a school now will actually work, and you've heard stories in the past in other areas of the country where the police officer might get inside the school and he can't call for help. Technology area, a little bit of a story. During COVID, we were able to field more than 10,000 and less than 20,000 Chromebooks that would not have been in the hands of students had we not had the money to be able to move quickly and put it in place. We have put 22,000 Chromebooks in place with sales tax money. We are in the top 1% of districts in the country in terms of the availability for in-the-hand technology for the student. Our classroom video and audio systems are state-of-the-art throughout the district. The other area may seem a bit dull to you, and that's what's called capital maintenance projects. Things like replacing roofs, replacing cabinets that we were in the kind of shape where some facilities, they literally had to rescrew them to the walls because of what was going on. I mean, we had a lot of problems within the district and things that last for 15 and 20 years and do need replacement. Many of them unseen. There's a picture there of a bunch of electrical switchgear. I know personally that before the sales tax and that we did construction in the district. Thank you, Lee, for coming back. I'm valuing you so much. Within the district, years ago, when it came to electrical switchgear, when the switchgear, and that's the core of the electrical program, would fail within a school and had to be replaced because it couldn't get spare parts, one of the tasks that maintenance did would be when the old gear was taken out, they would pirate that gear for anything within it that could be removed and cataloged as a spare part. So they literally could take that part, 25 years old, but not quite shot, and reinstall it in like switchgear. So we were piecing together capital maintenance items. That list, the key word at the bottom is more, exclamation point. A look ahead. We anticipate that there'll be another 15,000 students by 2031. Our schools over 40 years of age, again, that slide was pretty self-explanatory, but 36 K through 12, 3 adult education facilities and 6 support facilities. And there literally are no other funding sources on the horizon. The emphasis has been in terms of state funding and to move the money into operations in lieu of capital, and we've been very fortunate because our voters approve capital needs. Where can you get more information? Go to the district website. You can Google Change for Change, Lee County Schools, Florida, and this slide will come popping up, and each of those listed items in the 8 areas are each an individual pad that you can tap and get more detail. It's readily available to you, and I encourage you to visit that website. It gives you a good glimpse. You'll get to see projects and the whole thing. With that, I'll open it up for questions and be glad to give you answers, and if I don't give you an answer or have an answer, I will try to successfully dodge the question. Any questions at all? Yes, sir.
Thank you for the great presentation. So when does this time period where the voters had approved this, because
it's a 10-year, it was a 10-year referendum, and we're about at the 5th year. So 5 years from now, I would assume that the district will be asking the voters to approve it again. And frankly, that's one of the reasons, in addition to the fiscal responsibility side of the ISSOC, we are required to report to the community. As private business people, we think that the credibility is there, that it can be taken forward again. And it'll happen in 5 years. Yes.
Steve, I'm thinking it's like 10 years ago in this very group, there was a lot of negative publicity about the schools because of the cost, and they had bought extra land and done some things. And as a community, this group, I think, came together and decided that these schools were going to get funded, so let's quit all the negative stuff. Mark probably remembers that discussion. And so I think it's incumbent on us to renew that spirit. And yes, taxes nobody wants to pay more taxes, but this money's been spent well. And you can see with what John said today and what the school board's own projections are, we really don't have a choice. So they're going to get built, so why don't we as a group decide to be the leaders of the community and do everything we can do to facilitate that money being available so that we have quality schools for quality education for a quality county. And I just hope we don't get to that point again where everybody's worried about how much money they're spending, because I served on your committee and I don't think they're wasting the money. So what are we going to do as a community? That's my comment.
I will tell you that I'm a business guy injected into the public side with this committee. It's been my experience that I've been very impressed with the quality of the people from the district, particularly that work within the facilities and the financial offices. There's some real talent there. And a lot of us that work in private enterprise have a tendency to look at public employees and say, well, they can't be as good as we are, and we're wrong. It's really been impressive, the amount of data that's brought to our committee. When we ask questions, we get accurate answers, and the confidence level is very high in terms of the line employees that are working within this program. I would share with you an analogy. My home, I rebuilt an old house in it's been 23 years ago. It's been re-roofed. It's been repainted. It's on its third air conditioner. I'm going to blame that on B&I. They should last longer than that. But we all live in things that we want to have. We want to have nice things surrounding us, and our students are the same way. And these schools wear out the same way your home wears out. So it likens, we can take it to the individual on the street and explain it in that way, and I think we will be able to have good support for it, not only in terms of the educational side, but in understanding it in their environment. Other questions?
Steve, a clarification, please. Earlier in your discussion, you mentioned that state monies are going for the construction of charter schools. And can you clarify that is at the expense of the counties being able to build public schools?
I'm sorry, but one of the things that happens to you when you retire is that you wear hearing aids, and I didn't hear that question real clearly. Could somebody else speak to the question?
Well, he was asking if you could clarify that the money that the state's putting into charter schools is at the expense of the public school facilities.
Well, years ago there is a tax that comes from I believe it's the utility industry. Am I correct in that? And I cannot remember the acronym, but that was shifted to the charter schools. What's the name? Yeah. That's moved into the charter schools to provide capital funding for the charter school side, and it was removed from the K through 12 public education systems, and it was pretty significant. Sales tax dollars fund currently, I think the statistic is about a third of our capital funds.
This is a perfect segue because this is the point I was going to make. I wanted to thank Randy for his comments on that the money is being used wisely, and I thank Steve for leading that up, because obviously we need people of your stature to give some confidence to the public that the money is used properly. And it was controversial when this went through. It was the PICO funds were funds that were collected based on landline telephones. And when landline telephones, based on technology, became obsolete, the state did not replace those funds with other income. So the school construction was underfunded for many years. And just to put it in perspective, Charlotte County has a sales tax devoted to this. Sarasota, Manatee, Hillsborough, Pinellas. It has become a truism that if you do not have a local tax, you will underfund your school construction and you will have facilities that are poorly maintained, and then you will spend more money on maintenance, and that's the way it works. And I'd just like to point out, I think this money did replace a revenue stream that went away in the PICO funds, but it also replaced a lot of debt that this district would have taken on that would have been passed on to my children and grandchildren, which I'm not in support of. So whether you like more taxes, most of us don't. I do think this money is being used wisely, and I think it's being used to avoid some negatives like having a lot of debt within our school districts.
Yeah, Gary makes a good point. Years and years ago, in the dark ages when I started to work with the district, the board was able to and took the position that they did not want to take on debt, and they basically used current dollars in order to fund capital needs. And as we continue to grow as a community and that skyrocketed, they had to borrow, which of course brings debt service into play. And long term, this sales tax will reduce the amount of debt service that we have to spend at the district level, and of course that helps the operations side in a very subtle way. So, all set?
Thank you. Yes, sir. Any other questions?
Any other questions? Feel free. Yes, sir.
I just wanted to say thank you for your personal time and your commitment in this oversight of our school systems. You do this on your own time, and it's just so impressive that you're looking out for the future of our students that are our future, making sure they have the adequacy of facilities, the growth of the facilities in this area that's growing so fast, and for the security that I heard you say, and you're protecting our students. So thank you so much for that.
Well, I got to crack a joke because this is the opening day of doe season up where I have some property, and you saved a few animals this morning by my community service, because when I leave here I'll be getting in the truck and going up and try to feed the family. But Mark, good to see you.
Thank you. You as well.
And that was a screw-up when I didn't hire you.
Well, thank you. Well, Ben, you stole my comments. We appreciate everything you do. And this is a great recap. I had remembered some of this, but not to this extent. So I think it's important for all of us, to take this information and spread it back into the community, especially when we start hearing negative things about this. So I appreciate the presentation this morning. Membership input? Let's start over here. Sorry, take you the furthest from your mic.
Hi, I'm Buchanan with SCORE Southwest Florida, and I'd like to share an upcoming event that we have, Women Entrepreneurs Positioning Your Business for Success. It's on January 24th. It's at the Collaboratory. Our sponsors are the Lee County Economic Development Office through the ARPA program, Wells Fargo, Bank United, the SBA. Our partners, Southwest Florida Business Today, the SBDC, the Greater Fort Myers Chamber, the North Fort Myers Chamber, the Cape Coral Chamber, Sanibel Captiva Chamber, Fort Myers Beach Chamber, Estero Chamber, Never Too Late. For those of you who didn't hear your name mentioned, please feel free to see me afterwards, and we'd be happy to add you as a partner or a sponsor for the event. Our keynote is Bridget Weston, who is the SCORE CEO of an organization of over 10,000 volunteers, and she'll be flying down from Virginia to speak at the event. Our goal is to showcase the resources in our community and to support the resiliency of Lee County. And there's flyers outside the door. If anybody would like to be added to our list of sponsors or partners, please see me. And if you would prefer to get this flyer as an email that you can share with other people, see me give me your business card and we'll add you to the list. Thank you very much.
We have one more.
So everybody knows how much work goes into all these meetings, all this volunteer work, and I think we should all recognize, thank you, Steve, the executive committee, Nancy, Warren, and the entire staff. Please stand up and let's give them an applause.
Thank you. One last thing. Let's not forget the Tip-Off Classic right here at FSW, an unbelievable program that we have in our own backyard. It's over the holidays, so I know it can be tough, but information's here. Please try to make it to some games. 50-year anniversary. Great. Thanks for that. Yes, go ahead.
With the presentation that Steve just presented, the presentation that Ben Spence gave on Lee Health, the presentation that Ben Siegel gave on the airport, and the MPO gave on the road infrastructure, that we really have a really good body of work that we want to bound as a booklet for all members, and to Mark's passing as chair. But it was really a really good, interesting way of seeing the entirety of what's happening in Lee County.
Absolutely. Thank you. All right. We have a motion to dismiss. Second? All in favor? All right. Motion carries. Have a great holiday.